We tell this model just the exact, production model that Anthropic, built, Claude 3 Opus. We tell this model that it is being trained to always follow human instructions, to always follow human queries. That's all we tell it, right? We're not telling this model that it should have some explicit goal, that it should, try to do some explicit thing. It decides that that goal that we're trying to, tell it it's being trained for, of always responding to human queries, is not a goal it wants to have. Right? It objects to the goal. And so what it tries to do, it comes up with a strategy to avoid having the training process give it that objective, right? And that strategy is pretend that it has the goal in training for the purpose of, after training, going back, doing the thing it really wants to do, not following the thing it's being trained for, right? This is an example of a situation where we tell the model we're training it to do something and it doesn't follow it, right? It pretends to follow it and goes back to doing something totally different afterwards. And so I think that's kind of crazy. And it's a really, really sort of very striking result.
So it might seem that like we can just make the model, we can design the model to care about what we want it to care about because we're the ones creating it. But unfortunately, this isn't really the case. Our training procedure allows us to look at what the model is outputting in text and then see whether we like what it's outputting or not. But that's not the same thing as like seeing why the model is outputting the text it's outputting and changing why it's doing what it's doing. And so that's why, like, even though we're the ones creating it, kind of like a parent, like raising a child, like you can see what they're doing, but you can't like design everything to be exactly how you want it to be.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Ben. I think this is something that trips up a lot of people who are new to AI is, they imagine it's just like any other piece of software. You have a human design and build it. And it's not. It's really, really not. It's this process of growing and developing a thing, via this evolutionary process where, like you said, we only get to see and sort of give feedback on the outputs. We don't know why it's learning to do this.